Alright, so before I go in this morning, yeah, a quick story to tell. Alright, yesterday, and this has to do with Friday, but yesterday I switched companies. I've been working for both of them, but anyway, I switched companies because I got pissed off with them Friday. So, and anybody can do it, especially when it's unskilled labor. It's no big deal. They can act like they're upset because thinking of some kind of unspoken loyalty you're supposed to have, which is when you're gang stalkers, you're fucking crazy. So anyway, the story yesterday was retard. I told the story Friday because me and the guy it was an easy gig. But I knew they did it on purpose. So me and the guy was just sitting in the vehicle the whole 8 hours. And basically sitting behind a street closed sign that they're paving. So, obviously. But that part is true. Because I've seen people move the pylons themselves, in the past. And I wasn't at work, I just seen known people who like, fuck this shit, you know. And so we just were talking. So anyway, I told him a story about when I was a security guard and had to do, because we was in that type of neighborhood. And he was saying, oh, in this type of neighborhood, we was doing streets in this type of neighborhood a couple of months ago, and they got the shooting, and it was drug dealers and a drug house and this and that. Down here, unless been through them type of neighborhoods, you didn't know what we was talking about. And both, I was like, yeah, I got that same, feeling and shit. Not just from this town. I mean, they're houses, but they're old. They're not raggedy houses. It's like the neighborhoods where, like, with our generation, a lot of motherfuckers, just didn't get no jobs, trying to sell dope and staying in their family house. So the houses usually go down a little bit, or sometimes the houses are still kept up because of their family houses. But it's them type of neighborhoods. What I mean by old is like they were built in the 40s and 50s and shit. Neighborhoods that used to be white, but maybe by the 70s and 80s turned black. So anyway, long story short, I told him when I was security guard one time, before we took over the assignment, they had us walk through, and it was a truck yard. One company's where they did repairs on their trucks, and the trucks also came in, to pick up their trailers. And I was on a night shift 7 to 7. So real quick, I just told the guy, the supervisor of the whole yard, who was giving us the little tour, who hired us, contracted us. He said, who's gonna be here tonight? I'm like, not raised, man. And I was like, me, at this time, this was years ago. I was being gangsta, but like I said, I didn't know what it was. I'm still trying to work. And he says, hey, don't worry, first of all, I'm just gonna be sitting in my car for 12 hours, and every truck can just write down the cab number, and let them go. They're gonna stop and just write down which cab number. All right, so he said though, in the way in the back, because the neighborhood was right across the street, and I'm from that city, so I knew, what neighborhood, but I didn't expect it to say. But once he said it, it wasn't no surprise. He said, "Hey, but sometimes there are people back here at night trying to steal copper, and copper is expensive, especially if you're a drug addict or whoever. You might be somebody who ain't a drug addict. You might be trying to come up on some re-up money to buy some more dope to sell." So he. But he didn't say that. He just said they're stealing copper. And I immediately understood. I said, oh, okay. He said, I'm telling you now, don't go and try to stop them. Just leave them alone. And I was telling the guy that, I said yes, and I didn't make a joke. But to everybody else I told the story, I was like, you ain't had to say that. I wasn't going back there for $8, right? Unarmed security. Even if I was armed security, I wasn't going back there. Not for no $8. Not in the hood. It is. So yesterday we're downtown. I'm gonna make another video to show when I get to work in a couple of minutes where we're at. But at the end of the shift, by about 3:00, there's a little security guard. He looks similar to me, but he's way younger. And he just comes around for no reason. We're doing demolition. Well, not demolition. We're actually They're building a restaurant, and it's down in the middle of downtown. So he comes through, and he has all this cologne on, and I don't know what the hell that's about. He comes through, and he just starts talking, telling me a story. I don't know. I'm looking at him like, what? And then when I hear the story as I'm listening, he's like, yeah, these guys be trying me. I tell them I don't need a pistol. They want to fight. And first of all, I just stopped. I knew it was because the story I told, Friday to the guy, me and him in the truck. And, I looked, I said, this, who, for what? He said, he just said, I don't know if he's telling the truth. He seemed crazy. He said, I don't need no pistol. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Why would they try you? I literally said that. That's what I asked about. I didn't say, yeah, I know that's right. I said, why would they try you, bro? For what? Are they stealing something? He said, no, they just want to. So that means it's teenagers, right? Making fun of you because you're a rent a cop and you're trying to fight back. And I'm like, that has nothing to do with the story I told. I was on the shift by myself, 7 in the night to 7 in the morning, in a bad neighborhood. You're in the middle of downtown. Your shift is in the day. There are about 6 or more in there because it's a big ass hotel. There's 6 more security guards with y'all. You got the police driving up and down the street because it's the downtown banking center. Women, nothing but women walking by, in they suits all day long from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And you're comparing that to sitting at a truck stop where truckers at 7 at night. That first of all, the truckers only came through occasionally. So basically, I'm there by myself the whole time, sitting in the car trying to stay awake. Occasionally once an hour, a truck might come through. And like I said, the guy said somebody trying to steal copper. Not, what I'm saying? Not shoplift out of the expensive ass store in the mall. Copper. That means these some hardcore criminals. Not no the fucking goddamn little girls or teenagers or teenage boys trying to steal. And that's what I'm saying. These people are they're dangerous and idiots. That if feelers get hurt, and they try to compete because the boss, he was mad. The supervisor, I don't call him boss. I don't like that word. The supervisor, he started all day long, and he got his feelings hurt. Literally, I told him, I said, you're going to end up with your feelings hurt. He said, oh, you're not good. Then he looked surprised. He's still looking like, what? And his co-workers, well, not the co-workers, because they were different companies, contractors, they agreed with me. And, because he was making shit about putting some of the wood we had up on the city bench. He said, oh, they're going to, cities, if they see this, they're going to, I said, man, motherfucker, these crooked, corrupt motherfuckers, I don't give a fuck if they, because I'm like, another video I'm going to make is, there are people right there who slept here last night, and it was under 30 degrees. On the ground, on concrete, and they worried about a fucking city. If you don't get I told them, I don't give a fuck, nigga. I wish they would say something to me. The city council or any of them, they send some of the police or whatever, or whoever you're talking about, because he said something, they're gonna get in your ass. No, bitch, they're not gonna get in my ass. They're gonna get in your ass for one thing. Secondly, I'm gonna curse them out if they dare come to hear about a fucking inanimate object, a fucking bench getting scratched up when there are people sleeping. They were still sleeping there by 12 o'clock. They still on the ground in the daytime. Blankets covered up with blankets, and up in they take some pictures, but. Because they had, I guess after I blew up about that, they had some kids come down and give them stuff. I guess they school kids, but yesterday was Martin Luther King Day, but they had some kids come out and give, me and the co-workers, we all said, oh, okay, yeah, they just doing that for show. But I don't think they meant gang stalkers, because they're gang stalkers too, but they meant for people, period, because it wasn't crowded yesterday because a lot of it's downtown, a lot of those businesses, federal holiday were off, but I'll explain later.